Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How you doing, everybody? We are back with the Lumberjack Landlord. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome, Mike.
Hey, man, one thing I wanted to do with you is I've been playing with this spreadsheet because, again, I like doing math. I don't think math
Uh-huh.
lies, right? Math doesn't have an opinion.
Mm-mm.
I really started diving into this when people started saying housing was unaffordable. So I did this 40-year kind of comparison. I'm like, oh, shit, housing's cheaper in 2020 than it was in 1980. I didn't
Yes.
expect that.
Yeah.
But yesterday, Greg Dickerson in our weekly series challenged me to create a spreadsheet that said, hey, Michael, keep payment flat, but move interest rate up. Tell me what happens to prices. So I don't think it works that cleanly, but I like math. So I went ahead and built that. So let me pull that up and we'll talk about it. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mike, because I'm so dynamic and have so much free time on my hands and I love numbers like you,
Yeah.
I actually went 100 years back.
Oh, you did?
100 years back.
Oh, I love you for that.
So I didn't build a spreadsheet. I literally I went 5-year increments just like you.
Mhm.
And then I looked at everything basically 100 years back. This is like the third. Well, so until 21,
Yeah.
it was the second or third cheapest
Yeah.
market ever.
Compared to incomes.
Yes.
Yeah. And 2021 has definitely shown a change. If you see the
It is.
graphs, I'll show you that in a minute.
Yeah.
So again, I'm playing with this spreadsheet. If you've been watching my channel, it's evolving all the time, right? Here's the comparison. Here's the what if game. Here's the 1% thing, which maybe we'll talk about later because that's really fun to play if you own houses. But here we go. So to set this up, I had to create a base case, right? It doesn't matter. I had to pick one to establish the floor. So my base case was $270,000 home, 2.89% interest. I assumed 10% down because people are all up in arms about 20%. So I picked it. The math works the same, but I did 10% this time. So this is the finance amount. And this
So
is
do you know what the statistic is, Mike?
No.
So the statistic is in 2019, percent of people put less than 20% down, 54%. So you still had 46% of people in 2019 that put down more than 20%.
Oh, wow.
So that's a big number, right?
Yeah, much bigger than I expected.
In 2021, it's now 74%.
Really?
Yes, that's what's moved so much is that now it's 74% of people
are putting more.
Put down less.
Oh,
no, 74% are now less than 20%.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it. That makes sense. That's what I would have expected.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I just assumed 10% just because. So then what I did is you see in the yellow columns, I picked 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And what I tried to do is maintain 10%. And then I tried to get the payment within $5. And I think I did every time within $2. So here's the answer. If the interest rate only goes up to 3%, which is not very much, price has to go down 1.5% to keep the payment within $1. If interest rates went to 4%, again, this is 30-year amortized fixed payments, all that stuff. Properties have to go down 13%.
Yep.
If it goes up 5% to 5%, it goes down 23%.
Yep.
6%, properties have to go down 30.6%.
Yep.
And if, God forbid, 30-year interest rate went to 7%, housing would have to go down to 37.5%.
Yep.
So again, this is rough and tough. 1% is about 10% was what Greg Dickerson said in the discussion yesterday. I had never done the math, so I didn't know.
Yep.
We have the math. Rough and tough's about right. But in my experience, when interest rates go up, so what I've always said is Greg thinks 4% is a problem. I think 5% is a problem.
I'm with you. I think it's me personally, I think 5% is the problem. And I think in 22, I think we end up getting to a point where some rates are 5%.
Wow.
Yep. I think there's going to be a 5% mortgage. I think that there will be banks touching 5% mortgages in 22.
30-year fixed for
30-year
some
fixed.
creditors or borrowers.
I think for some borrowers, it's going to be in the 5s in 2022.
Yeah. And again, historically speaking, because I've had people do the work, one of the guys I follow, Bruce Norris from the Norris Group, he's done the math. And he's gone back and looked at other interest rate periods where interest rates rise. And again, housing is slower than stocks.
It is.
When interest rates go up, it actually pulls forward demand, at least in the short term, because people don't want to be priced out.
That's right.
And again, what will happen in an environment like this is the cash buyers will grow in strength. Because again, does a cash buyer really care if the interest rate's this or that?
Nope.
Not a lick, right?
Nope.
So
they're buying cash.
it just doesn't matter. So again, I think for me, the problem with if interest rate, and again, for me, it's the speed, right? If we're a slow bleed from 2.89 to 3, and then we get to 4 by next summer, and we get to 5 to the summer after that, housing will slow down. That's what I'm calling for. But God forbid, we woke up, I don't know, pick a day, Halloween, and suddenly there's a financial massacre of some kind, and November 1st, interest rates are 4.5. That would be a problem, right? If it's the rate and duration. Yeah.
It's the velocity. Yep. It's the velocity in which they get there for sure. Totally agree with you. And that's where I think, I think that we're going to see some blips, so I think we'll be, doing this, pop up and then retrace back, and then pop up higher and then retrace back. I think that's more how I believe this market is going to move. And then I think the big thing is obviously the tapering. What does inflation look like? Because I think inflation this quarter and next quarter, I think inflation are going to be nasty. Very high.
Yeah, I do. We get to PCE on Friday. It's going to be ugly, I think. Yeah.
I agree with you. I think inflation is going to be that story. Who knows whether or not it's transitory, but we all know it sticks around a lot longer than it takes a lot longer to leave than it did to get here.
Yeah. And the reason, folks, I don't think 4% is a problem is actually captured up here. I'll just go back to it. I played the what if game first. And if you put a 1%, again, let's actually do the same math. Let's take the price down. What did I say the price started at? 270, 650. So let's just change this real time. 270. I don't remember what it was. Let's say 653. I don't remember what the dollars were. So again,
653.
Yeah. So again, if you take that and you also use the average income, which again is from 21, you're only at 15.5% at 4%.
Right.
Which again, if you put it in context up here, and again, what did I use the down payment? Yeah, the down payment's 10% here. So I did that already. Oh, that's right. I have a variable. See how good I was. I built variable.
What a good spreadsheet. That's what I'm
built
saying.
It all.
One field with the variable. It's all built up.
Oh, so cool. So what was it? 25? What was it? 15%? Yeah, 15.5. So that brings us to
basically 21 numbers.
Yeah, it actually brings us to 2020 numbers. Yeah, 2020. Like it's not
2020. Yeah, there you go.
It's not too bad. And again, yeah. So actually, I think this is kind of misleading. I don't think the price is too simple. So
even in 8, even in 15, it was the numbers were 20, still sub 20.
Yeah. So here it's 20% at the new meeting of 363, which I think is far more accurate, and that takes us back to year 2010. So I would ask anybody, do you think 2010 was an expensive market? Right. And anybody that was buying, they would tell you, hell no. No, 2010 was the best year to buy ever.
Absolutely. Well, and even if you look at the numbers, it's like in the mid 80s, it was significantly higher.
Isn't that nuts?
In the 90s,
I think that's crazy.
It had. Well, that's the thing is, like, I remember, all the money in the world to my parents, they were buying a used car and they were spending $2,000, and it was like, they were purchasing Louisiana.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it was just, I mean, that's what
let's
look like.
Let's do one more thing, just because you and I happen to own a bunch of real estate. So let's take this to 0%.
Yeah.
So again, there's a channel out there that's calling for 1% 30-year mortgages. I don't think it's possible, but hey, what do I know? So I just decided to go, what would happen to housing if we had a 1% 30-year? So here's the math, right?
Yep.
And then because I own a fair amount of single family homes, I'm like, what would happen if properties were at 1% and they went up 50%? And again, this wouldn't be in a day, a week, or a month. It would be over a duration, but still 50% increase in values only takes us to 21%, which again is like 1995 levels. You see it right here. Right. It's exactly that number, 2106. How scary is that? Sometimes math just freaks me out. It takes you back to 2005 levels, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And I've actually never done this. What would happen if properties doubled? Oh, geez, this. I have no idea what's going to happen here. This could be scary. Oh shit! Only 28%. Wow. That's
lower than I thought it was going to be.
I thought it was going to be 40. I had no idea.
I mean, that's still not the 80s. That's still basically about the 90s.
Yeah, it's 92, 93.
Wow. That's even 2000, Mike.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Oh no, those are on the 20. Sorry, I was looking at the bottom line.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking in the 90s.
Yeah. Was housing expensive in your area in 1993?
I don't know.
Most people would say no. Screw you. I was not.
I literally had somebody talking to me something about it. And like, yeah, you remember. And I was like, I was like, he's like, yeah, when gas prices were crazy in the mid 70s. I go, dude, no, I wasn't even born yet.
Stop it. I do have a couple of images remembering of the gas lines from the 70s. I was young, but I do remember those. Yeah, I remember.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
I remember the license plates. I think it was like odd numbers go on a Monday and even numbers go on a Tuesday or something. It was weird. You had gas shortages and stuff. It was crazy.
do you think so? I think, what is it? Inflation adjusted, that makes gas like what, $10 a gallon or something like that? Because it was $3 or $4 a gallon then.
Oh, dude, I don't know. I haven't done the math.
It was like 10 or 12 bucks or something like that. And the question is like, do we get to, I mean, you're in California, so you're paying $5 a gallon.
$5 a
already,
gallon
right?
now. Yeah.
Oh, look, we're paying $3.17 here.
Yes. New Hampshire. Live free or die. Rock on. In California, we're taxed and then taxed some more.
I mean, at least you're putting it to good use. You're shipping in the homeless.
Stop it. Hey, at least Gavin Newsom's being recalled. I don't suspect he'll actually get recalled, but at least he has to jump through the hoops. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. All right, man. This has been fun going through this spreadsheet with me. I will send you a copy so we can play with it. You can beat it up yourself. How can people follow you or be part of your world?
Lumberjacklandlord.com, Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube, and part of the amazing One Rental at a Time course, doing the house hacking piece. But and then Thursdays with Dion Talks and yourself.
Fun. People like
That's
that.
so much fun. That is a blast. I love it. That's so good.
Very cool, man. Well, thank you very much. We'll do video number 3 in a minute.
Sounds good, Mike. Thanks.
Yep.